Hey, so I was looking at the document you sent. It looks like you're not sleeping and your energy levels aren't so good. And
You were right on. It worked for about 4 months, and now it's not working well.
so you were taking the Tylenol,
PM.
and did you change your dosage or what happened? Nothing.
It just stopped working.
Stop working. Okay. Well, let's see a couple things. But I was looking at your document follow-up paperwork. There's a couple things in here because I wanted to like figure out if there's some things that have been changed. So like here, basically, it was really like in November you started to go down, right? Like in the past month, your hours of
Yeah.
and now it's like 4 to 5 hours is
Yeah.
like
I'm waking up and then going back to sleep like I did in the beginning.
okay. And then I was looking at this here and I'm like, okay, well, here's all these blood sugar symptoms you haven't had in a while showing up again. So last time we talked about like doing ketogenic diet in like off and on. And
I'm busted. I'm busted. All right.
well, you're not
You know
sleeping.
what? I I've been wondering if I shouldn't get more into keto, and I've been trying, and obviously that must say that I do.
Okay. Because here, you have a roller coaster ride of your blood sugar. These are the symptoms. Like if you like fatigue meals, crave sweets, and then crash, and then get, irritable if you miss your meals. Those things then impact your energy levels throughout the day, impact your sleep, can't stay asleep. Not staying asleep is definitely an indication of like your high blood sugar levels dropping in the middle of the night and waking you up.
Mm.
So that might be the variable. It may not just be the medicinism, like the Tylenol PM working may not be like wasn't the only thing. Could just be that fact, like your blood sugar's off.
I was wondering that. Okay.
It's so funny. You're busted, but you knew you were. Did you? What happened? You just stopped doing ketogenic, or you adding more fruit or sugar in? What happened?
I just started. Yeah, I just started. I have my grandson here, and the cooking has been crazy, and he all he eats is sugar, and I'm trying to correct his blah blah blah. But I get it. I get it.
Okay. So let's see the other thing. The other thing. So when I was going through, just looking at everything, make sure I don't miss anything. I mean, the main thing on the brain form is just your mental fatigue, but that could just be part of not sleeping and being in that vicious cycle of the blood sugar levels impacting your sleep. And then you wanted to go over this test again, right? The mole test.
I do. I haven't seen any other doctor for I don't even remember beginning of this year. And
Yeah.
so I went to see this gal that I was seeing before, and she brought that up. And she said, bring that up to your doctor. And so I said, okay. And then I'm looking at it and they're all high. Do I have mold?
So there's like like there's mold, and then there's mold. So mold releases a spore called mycotoxin, and like black mold is like very dangerous, very serious, cause a lot of health problems. And there's regular types of mold throughout the environment that still can trigger an allergy response, but they're not going to be like black mold mycotoxins, which are really poisons. Like you can
I
really
get,
really really sick and ill. So these like this first species, these two species you have here are typically found in like not in like in the soil. They're used to break down food substances in the food industry. They're not like severe toxic mold. However, you're having an immune reaction to them, so it's like, as if like you're having some like allergy to that response. And the thing is, it's not actually, I shouldn't say allergy, it's a reactivity because it's IgG, which means it's not really an allergy, but you're having some immune reactions to some mold species. But it doesn't seem like it's.
well, how about the rest of them? There's one, two, three, four, five, six more that I was high in.
Yeah, I'll go through the rest here. These ones here were so we tested the molds. Let's see, mold IgG here, and then there was the IgE, which is like real true allergy. This would really cause a lot of immediate acute symptoms if you got exposed to them. But these were not elevated.
No, but all of these that I have here,
Okay,
they're all it's IgG allergens, 14 moles, and then it's got penicillium, cladosporium, aspergillus. Mercorachinus
Oh yeah, yeah.
candida,
This one.
and they're all high.
Oh, this one.
No, not that one.
This one.
You don't have it.
I don't have it.
It's page 1 of 3. You have page 2, but you don't have page 1.
Who did the test?
Um,
I have
LabCorp.
it here. I just don't have it on this document. Who did it?
LabCorp did it.
What was the date on that?
And the date is 3/23/23.
Give me 1 sec here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. IgG allergens, penicillium, clostridium, yeah, Candida albicans. So we're definitely having reactions to environmental mold mycotoxins. But don't confuse these as black mold mycotoxin poisoning. These are just
And I'm not. I understand the difference.
Yeah.
What I want to know is, barring that it's not black mold, should I be addressing this some way because they're all high?
I mean, so with you, like your exposure to a lot of these are going to be from you playing in the not playing, but working on the soil.
You know, I realize that it's I'm here on this. I mean, I live in it.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna get that exposure the most. So if you want to try wearing like a mask and seeing if you can do your farm, like I know you like to plant and work on your farm, but you can see if that makes any difference for you. You're
I
sure?
sleep a lot. I don't mean sleep, but so how about it's inside me? I don't have to. I shouldn't worry about if there's stuff inside me right now.
Oh, you mean like mycotoxins and all that?
Yeah, all of these. Should I be working on getting them out of me?
No, these are just airborne mycotoxins you get exposed to like around dirt and soil, and the air spores in the air quality when you're around probably.
They didn't live inside me once I'm exposed to them.
No, no,
Oh,
no. Just think of these as like a environmental reaction to something in the air.
okay. Well, then I'm
Yeah.
not going to be so worried.
The problem is like people like clinicians don't understand mold, so they think anything that says mold, and then they don't understand different species, and they go, "Oh my God, this is what's making you sick," and they totally freak out. And it's like there's a difference between mold spores and actual mycotoxins. Like these are just mold spores, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so these are more. This would be any different than if you had like an allergy to dust or an allergy to like I don't know grassweed or something like that, and you were exposed to it. You would have some kind of immune reaction to it. How severe it is could depend on lots of variables, but it's not. It's definitely not toxic mold that is causing mycotoxin illness species.
Okay, because my grandson has mycotoxins that he's being treated for right now.
Yeah, and if you look at it, like if you look at this panel here, like these are all dietary. Like for example, this is you had this test done before real time. So they have your previous states. These are found in food, like your alpha toxins went up. So these alpha toxins are mold that are found in like stored products like grains and peanuts and nuts and corn. There's just aflatoxin mold in them, and you can ingest them and it can raise your levels. Again, these things can definitely still cause inflammation, right? Just like any kind of allergen can cause inflammation. But it's not toxic mold illness or something like that.
And there's nothing I should be doing about it or for it.
Well, if you're noticing when you're farming and out in the soil and you're not feeling well, and especially if you're noticing it difficulty with your breathing or if your sinus is congested, they're having an effect on you. These mold spores are definitely going to have a reaction because they're high. They're having a reaction with your lung mucosal system. So they're going to have a reaction with your pulmonary, esopharynx, like sinus areas. And they can cause.
Got it. That's probably why I might have so many issues with my sinus, and have mucus all the time. And lately I've been sneezing and I never sneeze. And I was wondering, so maybe, and it's wet now and there's plant material outside and blah, blah, blah. I understand. I
might want to
get it.
take a break from getting exposed to the soil and the farming you're doing, and then see if you know.
Yeah. No, I haven't been doing a lot of it, to be honest, but it's still, around me. And
Yeah.
so,
I mean, like the best thing you can do is always in your home, just to make sure air quality is clean. So I think we talked about this before. But you have a filter, like air filter?
no,
Oh, so you definitely want to get a HEPA air filter. HEPA is just
I
the
know what it is.
okay. You get them anywhere. You can order them off Amazon or whatever. As long as they're a HEPA filter, they're going to clean the particle size that you would find with mold spores. So they'll clean up all the
Okay.
mold spores in your air in your home. And then like
Okay.
the filters, they'll be based on like how much square footage you have. So like they'll say like this filter covers 200 square foot room or 300 square foot, whatever. And then you can kind of figure out like the room, definitely your bedroom and the rooms you're spending time in the most. I don't know what it is for you, your office, kitchen, or whatever it is. You definitely want to have a good air filter in there. And then at the
And
very
it will work with these tall, because my ceilings up here go all the way up to a loft. I mean, it's 20 some odd feet up there.
I'm not sure. I'm not like an expert in HEPA filters, but
I'll find out.
at
I'll
least
ask somebody.
circulating around you that you're breathing in, it should probably have an effect, like
Okay.
they're pretty amazing. You can so that might be something you can do to reduce your home, mold spore exposure, and then gardening. You could have you ever worn those masks where they prevent the dust to trigger an
Yeah.
allergy?
Yeah, I can do that.
But the biggest issue is this for you, I think, right now: the blood sugar.
No, I know. I know.
Okay, so do you know what to do?
I do.
What are you going to
I'll
do?
do it.
Just
I'll stop the sugar, get back on the keto.
And the key thing is to see like if you like do that like you were doing being in ketosis, and maybe it's important for you to measure ketones again. Do you still have the ketone meter?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Get in real ketosis for like a good 4 days and see if you can sleep again. Because
Okay.
this might be what's throwing you off. It may not be that you've adapted to the Tylenol PM, and maybe that this is the main factor.
Okay.
And then let's see what else you have. Right.
I have questions.
Yeah. Okay. You have questions? I have a
Okay.
list to go over too, but you go first.
Okay. So maybe this is premature because maybe I'll get back into my diet, but I was wondering about, I'm so depressed. I was wondering about taking something for my depression.
I think starting with a ketogenic diet might be the best thing.
Okay.
Um, if you look at the literature on antidepressants, they're very mixed, and in the world of like critical data analysis of all of medicine, antidepressants have the worst history and record of just how the data is interpreted. But you might be surprised. Like once your brain gets glucose and you get ketones and it's inefficient and functioning, it might make a big change in your mood. If you really want to go into like supporting your depression pathways, um, there's another form that you filled out before. It's called the brain region localization form. I can have Susan send it to you again. We can communicate with email, and it just goes into like symptoms of serotonin or dopamine, GABA, and acetylcholine. And if you want, you can try to support your brain that way. But I would say just give yourself 4 days of being in ketosis first and see what happens. Okay. And then if it doesn't work, fill out the questionnaire form. I'll send it to you after this call, and then
Okay.
And then if we need to go down like playing with some nutraceuticals to do that, we can try to do that. But those are usually limit like they'll work for a period of time to kind of get you out of depressed phase.
And the same thing will happen.
Same thing will happen, yeah. And
And
if you look at the most effective evidence-based treatment for depression, it's movement, physical exercise. And I know you've had some difficulty getting on the stationary bike, and I read your stationary bike's still broken. But any kind of
stop it.
Because when you move, all types of physical activity increase serotonin and dopamine and GABA and opioids and all those things, and they've clearly been shown to be the most effective way to change your mood.
Okay.
Okay.
So, and then I wanted to know, so I'm thinking about going to Hawaii in February.
Nice.
Hmm. And then I get really tired, and then I get scared of getting sick, and then I wonder if it's not too much. And I wanted to have your input, please.
For sure, it's possible you can get overstimulated and get dizzy and have a terrible time. Because you have some degree of loss of resilience to some things and like motion, movement. Um, Definitely, if your blood sugar is not perfect, you can definitely crash because you don't have as much brain endurance efficiency, and you really have to like make that perfect. But if you account for that possibility and like you can give some time to recover and rest, it might be good, really good for you. You just,
Yeah.
like we don't know. It's like the possibility. It's possible you can have a great time and everything's fine, but traveling, you want to make sure you're like if you can not have to do a connector, and you can keep like noise and volume down, and you can have someone like you're not struggling to get a car to pick you up to the airport, and like you can make it as smooth as possible. It definitely be
How
something.
about getting sick, like with COVID or whatever?
Oh, with your like white blood cells, I think your white blood cells were the past couple times you checked healthy enough where weren't concerned about any of those things.
Okay.
But
Hawaii, here I come.
nice. But just make sure you plan some time like to recover and rest after you get there.
No, I hear you. With a friend. I've known her for what, 40 some odd years. You know, it's
Yeah.
it's just the travel, on the plane, but I'll smooth it out.
Travel is fatiguing for everyone. And like you
And
definitely
then,
definitely want to have a couple days like once you travel to make sure if you need it, you can just lie down, rest, and let your brain recover. You
yeah,
definitely want to make sure you're fully in ketosis. When you get on the plane, they're not gonna have anything ketones for you. Like you have to bring some ketone
yeah.
source snacks and just keep your ketone levels keep your ketone levels high because you're gonna require so much fuel to keep your brain from fatiguing, right? With the injury you have.
So, so maybe you can, I'm not sure even how to explain it, and I'm not sure. So if I'm trying to open a bottle and I can't open it and it's really hard, just that struggle makes me, or if I hear a loud noise, or if I get angry, if I've yelled at my grandson, I
Yeah,
just, I,
you're done.
and it makes me cry.
Yeah.
What goes on?
It's a limbic response. It's very common with people that have, you know, injury and you had like a viral injury and you've had some microvascular disease. Um, it basically is a saying in like neurological rehab, like when the brain is fatigued, people go limbic. And there's a part of the brain called the limbic system that your frontal lobe and your cognitive functions are always inhibiting. And your limbic brain is your emotional brain. So it's very common with people when their brain endurance is down, if they do something that exceeds their endurance, they get limbic. And for some people, it's crying. For other people, it's like they get angry, rages, but it's
That's
limbic.
exactly what happens.
So your frontal focus, concentration, cognitive areas of your brain called the frontal lobe, they actually work all the time, 100% of the time to inhibit this limbic system. And once they fatigue, like it can't calm it down,
Oh,
they'll use the term, oh, that person went limbic. And like, oh, okay.
huh.
So it's you would definitely want to think about taking like a ketone powder or something. I think with you on the trip, put it with some water just in case if you can't get ketones up really quickly, you can just.
What was the name of that powder that I was taking? Do you remember?
What was the ketone?
I
It
can,
was the ketone powder.
it was ketone powder.
I can look it up for you. It's not in my notes right now, but I think it's an email I sent you. I think I found on it just a random one off Amazon, but
Yeah.
you can look for it.
Okay.
Anything that has exogenous ketones will work. You just got to make sure there's no caffeine in there for you. Because some of the ketone products are used for weight loss. So a lot of things you might find that are exogenous ketones will have like caffeine in there, and that might be too much for you.
So, so I'm really too stressed out. I really need to, I mean, I really understand my responses are so off the wall sometimes. Like even now, what happens?
Yeah, that's just getting limbic. Um, you probably can't afford to have your blood sugar circulate like that the way it is right now.
Okay.
it's fine. You get back. You get back into your like getting your stuff stable and getting your full delivery okay. Your fuel delivery to your brain, stable. When you travel, you definitely also want to consider like sound cancellation headphones and you know glasses, so no one like just to reduce light and sound can be very stimulating. For your kind of pattern.
Yeah. Okay. And then on my supplements, how so how close together can I take them? I'm trying to get them 3 days, 3 times a day, but usually in the evening, I don't know, it's usually only 2 times, although I really try for 3. I guess it's because I don't eat a lot.
That's no
But
problem.
my question is how close together and how often can I take them in a day?
So there's nothing you're going to take with your supplements that are like antioxidants and anti-inflammatory things you're taking that are going to hurt you. You're not going to overload on anything. It's just when you break up the doses, you have a greater effect, and you have a probably better absorption of them as you break up the dosages. But there's no rule. You can just
Oh,
do the best, and if you only get 2 a day, that's fine too.
but I could take 4 times a day, all of those if I wanted to.
Yeah, you can try it and see if it makes you feel it.
Maybe I'll try that.
Yeah,
Except for the one that has licorice, not at nighttime, right?
right. The Juno stem would be definitely you don't want to take that at nighttime.
The other ones, can I take them like an hour before I go to bed?
Yeah.
Or is that too stimulating? I can't.
You got to see if you can digest it. Sometimes it's too like it might like you don't want to take a bunch of pills and then like lie down and then feel like you're not swallowing your supplements.
I got that.
Yeah.
And then the probiotic, how many times a day do I take strength?
Yeah.
Strength is what it's called?
Just take one a day, one sample.
Just one. And then how often should I be taking the salmon oil, the CoQ3, the salmon, the oil, the
Oh,
fish oil,
fish oil.
the omegas?
Uh,
So
yeah. Again, there's no rule. I mean, you want to get how much? What's the dosage you have on that? I'm trying to look it up on your files here.
I don't know. I've been I take a spoonful a couple
Oh,
times a day is what
yeah,
I do.
the Apex one. So you're getting a couple thousand milligrams twice a day. That's pretty good. Twice a day would be great.
And I think that is all my questions. Thank you.
So the stuff just to remind you about bike movement. That's going to be your number one thing for depression. Like your main
Okay.
thing, like right now, like you have to do is to get your blood sugar stable, get back to ketosis, and just see if you can function. Like I don't think you can do the blood sugar thing, fluctuations. If you have to have something sweet over the holidays, just because you're socially engaged and you're doing stuff, just make sure you have something with protein and fat right with it or right after you eat it, just so you don't have that spike. Okay. Or something, that's probably the best. And then hyperbaric. Did you get your hyperbarics going?
I so it's upstairs. I'm gonna tomorrow. I've got it all arranged to where I'm gonna see if I can't figure out what I had it when I had to move, and I had my family over with the 4 children,
Yeah,
and I have a feeling they were riding it like a horse and whatever.
yeah.
And I have a feeling that there's a breach now, so that the air's coming out. But yeah, I'm gonna get it fixed.
Okay.
Oh, and that was the other question. So we have a new place in town that has big, heavy hyperbarics.
Oh, nice.
Do you think I should do that?
You might want to give it a shot and see how you feel.
Okay.
You have to be careful. Okay, listen, it's possible with your level of fragility, like a whole session may fatigue you and exhaust you, but it's not expected. It's just
And I should trust somebody to know how much pressure to put on me.
you're going to go to someone is certified to use the hyperbaric chamber. They're going to know what to do. They'll set you in a low setting, but
Okay.
um, I would definitely try it.
Okay.
And if you get like really exhausted and tired, it's just that you could definitely the home unit one and see how you feel. Ultimately, you want to get oxygen pushed into your brain. because it'll help your neurons function more effectively. It'll slow down neurodegeneration, helps your brain recover, provides fuel to your neurons for energy, which you have a lot of mental endurance issues. Then you go limbic. So, it's a good thing for you to be able to try to manipulate with the hyperbarics to get the oxygen into those neurons,
I'll get on it. Thank you.
Okay, and then you're still doing social stuff, or you're making an effort to be social. It's another major cause of depression. Well, think about it.
Well, I have my other grandson. He's 28. He's moved in.
That's good.
I have a separate place, another that where he is.
Yeah.
So and he loves to cook, and that's been a big issue. So that's really good. I have a gal friend. She's turning into a friend, young girl, sweet young girl, that's coming over twice a week to help me get my house back in order. So,
okay, well, that's still that's better than not having any interaction and being alone.
And then my other grandson's here, so I have a little bit.
Okay, that's wonderful. Okay. All right, so main thing, getting ketosis, measure your ketones, and once your ketones get back to normal, into not normal, but into a ketosis state, anything above 1 is what we want to see. Anything above 0, is fine. You can definitely use any of your exogenous ketone supplements you've done in the past to help you get into ketosis. Anytime you feel like your brain function and brain endurance is going down or getting limbic, you can take some ketones, okay, or eat something. Okay. And then we want to see if that changes your sleep, and also if it has any impact on your mood. If it doesn't have any impact on your mood, I'm going to send you after this call this neurotransmitter assessment form. Complete that, fill it out for me. And then we want to see if there's any patterns that really stick out. And then we can try to do some nutritional things to kind of give you a little boost for a little bit of time, but it's not going to be like forever. It'll only have an effect for some time, a few weeks, maybe a couple weeks, maybe 10 weeks, I don't know. But that might kind of help you if you're really down. But I don't think you'll need to go there. And especially if you can get any kind of movement in. And then don't forget the HEPA air filter to try to get rid of any of the mold spores that you may be getting exposed to.
Okay. All right.
All right. Good to talk to you.
Hey, thank you. And again, I just so appreciate you.
Oh, that's so kind. Have a great Christmas or holidays.
Happy holidays to you as well.
Talk next year. Okay.
Thank you. Bye.